Hello folks, welcome back to our podcast, and today we're going to talk about the Mongol horse, and this is part one. We're going to split this up into a series, much like we were doing with our Norman horses. If that's not interesting, let's hop into it. Now, much like our Norman versus Norman horses, we're not going to dive deep into the logistics of how the army moved. We're going to touch a little bit about, the speed of the horse, but logistics is going to be saved for another video later on. So, let's get into it. Now, for starters, the important thing to note is that the Mongolian horses today are very similar to the ones rode by Genghis Khan and his ancestors hundreds of years ago. A lot of animal cultures and their breeds die out as people mix and crossbreed animals to try to get a different type of animal to come from it. Good thing for us that and makes it easy for research. The Mongols were very traditionalist, and even up until the 19th century, were still living their nomadic lifestyle without a lot of the modern technology. And even today, there are still Mongols who live in the nomadic way. So we still have a living example, basically a small part of history with their horses. First to note about the horse, extremely small horse. Not big like the great Spanish horses or the horse you'll see in movies. Very small horse, only about 13 to 14 hands tall. Light animal as well, only about 700 to 800 pounds. And unlike the Normans, the Mongols would use the female horse. The reason they would use the female horse was when they were on campaign, if they ran out of water, you could then drink the milk from a female horse, something that obviously would be impossible to do with the male horse. The second thing is that the Mongol horses, what they lacked in size, more than made up for in their insane endurability and resilience. The horses could stand extremely hot temperature and extremely cold temperature. Much like the Mongols themselves, who were able to adapt to whatever situation it is they were fighting in, or wherever they were fighting during campaign. Genghis Khan actually successfully invaded Russia, or rather his Mongols did. Only army to ever do so, especially on a large scale like that. They were able to fight in the winter, they were able to fight in the summer, and they were able to move in both conditions. So all the hardiness and toughness in the Mongol warrior himself is equal and present in his horse. His mount, without him, he would not be able to be as dominant as he was on the battlefield. A lot of people give credit to the bow for the Mongols being extremely dominant, but the recurve bow was nothing new by that point. The Huns had used it against the Romans 1,000 years before, about 800 years before Genghis Khan began to dominate in China. And Salahadin's men, they had recurve bows. Even the Normans had some mounted archers. So it's not just the bow that made them extremely effective. The horse is a huge factor here. Now, like the Huns, who had at least 5 mounts, the Mongols would take 5, anywhere from 4 to 6 additional mounts with them to go to combat. And this was so they could change between horses. Even though their horses were extremely strong and durable, when you put a man on the back of a horse, it wears him down much quicker than it is him pulling a cart. If anybody out there studied horsepower, you know it's easier and less work for you to put something on wheels and pull it than it is to put weight on the back of something. So by changing between mounts, they were able to keep moving at an extremely fast pace and have to take less rest periods, because even though the horse is still moving, he's getting rest without having somebody on his back. But like I said, extremely durable. There are accounts of the Mongols covering 100 miles in one day on their horses, which was faster than any army at the time had done. I know there are accounts of Shaka Zulu's army running on foot 100 miles a day. Some people debate this, say it was 50 miles. The point is, the Mongol horse could certainly cover 50 miles repeatedly. I'm not talking about just one day out of the week. They could keep this up for weeks on end before having to stop and take serious rest. Also, an advantage of the horse being lighter is, even though you still had to feed him, he ate less food than a bigger horse would. The bigger your horse is, the more muscle you use, the more fuel you got to take in to put out the same amount of work. But the smaller horse also didn't eat as much as the bigger horses around the area, so that gave more speed to the Mongols because you had to carry less grain, or you could eat up less pasture. And so I also wanted to point out, I know I said I wasn't going to go deep into logistics, but the Mongols actually had to move at a high speed in order to maintain the liveliness for their horses. We're going to skip that another video. If you guys can guess what it is, comment down below why you think the Mongol horse had to move at an extremely fast pace in order to stay alive. Hey everybody, thanks for watching our video. Smash the like button if you liked it. Subscribe so you can see it. I will post a new video every Wednesday on my Norman vs. Mongol podcast. And I'm also going to start a new series called Medieval Mondays. If you would like me to cover a different warrior or a different culture, comment down below. Anyone between the 1100s, I don't really care what time it was. I love medieval history. I love making these for fun. This is something I enjoy doing. Thanks for watching and have a good day.